We just tested him yesterday. He tested positive. He tested positive a week ago. I've ordered him not to use. I mean, if I don't, then I'm rewarding him for his behavior, Mr. Schlossberg. That doesn't make any sense. You know, I understand that it's punishing mom. These are the things that you need to consider when you're out there. I told you not to use, and you're now using. Goes with you. I'm sorry, Mr. Schlossberg. I can't just continue to let people go.
Judge, the drug test yesterday, it came back positive for THC because it was within 14 days of the previous drug test on the 14th.
He tested negative the first time we tested him, and now he tested positive for using marijuana. That's it. There's no, I mean, really, if I don't, I'm enabling the behavior, and that's it.
Yes, sir. Maybe excuse me.
Please. Good morning, Mr. Galvan.
Good morning.
You were charged with driving while intoxicated. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Do you understand? Are you sure, or would you?
He's just a little bit embarrassed with the situation, Judge, of being here for the first time.
Do you prefer a translator or?
Well, I understand what you just telling me, yes.
Okay. We are going to do probable cause. We need to know what happened in the case. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Okay. Ready?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. On April 27, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle going 74 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone via radar. He observed the vehicle stop beyond the designated stopping point at a red light and make a wide right turn. The law enforcement officer initiated a traffic stop and observed the defendant to be the sole occupant of the vehicle. The law enforcement officer observed watery, bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and a strong odor of alcoholic beverage. The defendant swayed while standing in place. The defendant's family showed up and stated they drove him home because he was drunk, and they found out he left again, so they went to the location of the stop. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 was reported on the HGN, a 3 out of 8 on the walk and turn, a 3 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant refused consent to provide a specimen, and a blood warrant was obtained and executed.
Any RDWIs?
So,
Does he have a license?
He does have a license, John.
Okay. No prior DWIs, Your Honor. I'm running his license, although.
Mr. Galvan, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Hay suficiente causa para continuar con tu causa, ¿ok? No puedes tomar alcohol, illegal drogas, y te voy a hacer examen. Si tomas o si usas, te pongo en la cárcel. ¿Me entiendes? Tú tienes un abogado, no tienes que venir a la corte hasta que él te dice. Pero si él me dice que no puede contactar y tienes problemas, voy a revocar la fianza. ¿Me entiendes? Tú no puedes manejar si no tienes una licencia y también aseguranza en tu nombre. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
So for now, we will have you sign a reset. Vas a ir con Roxanne de Pretrial Services y ya te puedes ir.
Y no se tiene que presentar para próximas cortes.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
You are Joe Castillo, Jose Castillo.
so Jose,
Castillo, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 23rd, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle going 77 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone via radar detection and weave in and out of lanes around 4 vehicles, nearly causing a crash. The law enforcement officer briefly lost sight of the vehicle, but found the vehicle parked sideways in a driveway close by. The defendant was still inside the vehicle and admitted to being the driver, but stated he was only going 60 miles per hour.
Okay. Mr. Castillo, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. You run his license, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. Do you understand? That is a condition of your bond. I'm now also ordering you not to drive in a reckless manner, not to participate in any street takeovers, racing, anything of this nature. And if I find you do, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
It's out of the way, Your Honor.
How old are you, sir? What do you do for a living?
I work in a warehouse.
Okay. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? You want a court-appointed lawyer?
Under the request of attorney.
Okay. I need you to fill out an application for me. Deputy Miranda is going to give an application. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign all our bond conditions. You understand? Come on. Do you mind filing those conditions, please?
Yes, Your Honor. That'd be no reckless driving and no driving.
Same
without a
as-
valid license.
And then, no racing, street takeovers, donuts.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're Alexa Mendoza. Ms. Mendoza, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do with probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 23rd, 2025, law enforcement officers were dispatched to a traffic collision in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle on the fixed rail tracks impaled to the LRV. The law enforcement officer opened the door to check on the defendant, the sole occupant of the vehicle, and observed the defendant to be impaired. The law enforcement officer observed glossy eyes and slurred speech, and the defendant stated she left a bar where she had 8 to 10 drinks of tequila and was on the way to a concert. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 was reported on the HGN. The law enforcement officer notes that the defendant threw up during the HGN. The walk and turn was a 4 out of 8, and the one leg stand was a 3 out of 4. The defendant was ID'd by her Texas driver's license, and the defendant consented to a breath test yielding a .137 and a .123.